Alright, welcome back, true believers. I've been on hiatus for a while. This is John Krupa, Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries, coming back at you. Good morning. We're going to do the part 2 of the eastbound serial killer. We focused on these two girls right here last time, and this part 2 we're going to focus on these girls here. That was Kim Raffo and Brader. Forgive me, Barbara Brader. While we're drawing these two, we got some music in the background. We're going to learn more about the victims. That's Tracy Roberts we did talk about already. And I'm going to start drawing Kim Raffo here. Tracy Roberts, when Tracy was 14, she began experimenting with drugs and alcohol. Before that, she was pretty active and a normal child. She did drop out of high school at 16. And worked as a mortgage broker. That's Tracy Roberts. She began dating a coworker and gave birth to her daughter at 18, so 2 years later. The baby's father was awarded primary custody of the baby, and Tracy began to take steps to improve her life from being messed up prior because of drugs. So Tracy Roberts did have addiction issues as early as 16, maybe 17, 18, somewhere around that time. She enrolled in courses to be a medical assistant. She then found a job at a doctor's office. So early in Tracy's life, she does not fit the mold of the serial killer, what he's looking for. As we're drawing Kim Raffo here, she was the third victim. We drew the two out of 4 of them already on the first video. If I remember, I will link that video to this video. I might forget too. I do that. Things like that. I do things like that. So this is Tracy's boyfriend, seeing that Tracy was starting to become stable, brought the baby to live with her. This was the happiest time for Tracy. This ended a year later because her job, which was at a doctor's office, just picked up and moved all of a sudden. They relocated and didn't tell her, I guess. Suddenly, and leaving Tracy without employment abruptly, without a job. She could not pay for her house, and her house went into foreclosure. Tracy fell back into the drug hole, using cocaine quite frequently, moving back and forth between Delaware, Philly, and Atlantic City. She finally stopped moving around the year 2006 and landed in Atlantic City. She was running from an abusive relationship. She worked as a go-go dancer, but her drug habit made her skinny and emaciated, and the club owners didn't want her dancing there anymore. So her last option was to work as a sex worker, and that's what the Eastbound Killer was looking for. So we listened to some Red Hot Chili Peppers in the background. I mean, you're not allowed to use music on YouTube, but I don't have that many followers, so they really kind of overlook my channel. If my channel ever does grow, I might have to worry about not being able to use this music in the background. But for now, so we are drawing Kim Raffo. We're telling you about Tracy Roberts. We're expanding more on Tracy Roberts' background. A few nights before her death, a man who forced her to be her pimp punched her so hard that she had to go to the ER. There she contemplating leaving Atlantic City, but she did not. She told her mother in Delaware to come and get her. When the mom arrived, she was 5 minutes too late. The workers from the hospital said that Tracy checked herself out with 2 unidentified men. So the mom was a little bit too late. She could have probably just changed everything there if she would have been 5 minutes sooner. Which is crazy to think. Do you think that she racks her brain about that, the mother? Probably. So now we're going to tell you about Molly Dilts. Molly Dilts, this was Molly Dilts right here. And we were drawing this lady right here, Kim Raffo, right now. So Molly Dilts, she was from a small town in Pennsylvania called Black Lick, Pennsylvania. I never heard of it, and I am from Pennsylvania. She was a teenager when her mother and her brother both passed away. So that's kind of rough right there. Just dealing with two people that you're close with and you love pass away. She struggled emotionally with this. To cope with it, she started partying and drinking, using drugs, and having run-ins with the law. She was enrolled in a special education program at Blairsville High School, but later dropped out. So she was a high school dropout. She continued partying then, and in 2005 she gave birth to her son Jeremiah. After the birth of her son, she bounced around Pennsylvania and Western Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. She then first arrived in Atlantic City in 2006. She went back to PA later and stated things were starting to turn around for her. She stopped partying with all the hard drugs like cocaine and heroin, and just recreationally used marijuana. This was the beginning of October in 2006. Our family last heard from her on October 7th. She called from Atlantic City, and she was never seen or heard from again alive. There was no concrete evidence that Molly turned to sex work to pay her bills, but several women who walked the streets reported that she had indeed turned to sex work to support herself because they recognized her and knew her by name. So that's a little bit of a bio on Molly Dilts. We drew her in the last video. We're drawing Kim Raffo right now, so let's get to Kim. The Kim Raffo grew up in a Brooklyn neighborhood of Canarsie. Brooklyn neighborhood of Canarsie. She was 35 and she was married to a guy named Huey, and moved to Florida after 1989. The couple purchased a 4-bedroom house, and she had a baby daughter in 1992 and a son in 1994. She was a minivan mom, and in 2001, her soccer mom lifestyle fell apart, and she just stopped being a super mom abruptly. That year, she was enrolled in cooking class and met a habitual drug user named Kenny in Hollywood, Florida. Her and Kenny began to have an affair. Hugh eventually caught the two and took the kids. He attacked Kenny with a baseball bat. Hugh sold the family home and moved the kids to Ocean City. Kim moved to Atlantic City, bringing her drug addiction and her habitual drug user lover, Kenny, with her. So that spells like a recipe for disaster right there, if you ask me. Hugh sold the family home and moved the kids to Ocean City. Kim moved to Atlantic City. Kenny and Hugh got into another altercation. Kim and Hugh's children were placed in foster care. Kim and Kenny found work in the Taj Mahal restaurant not too long after they fell into the prevalent drug scene in Atlantic City. Kim's once social habit of abusing crack cocaine became a full-blown addiction, and Kenny and her both could not hold down jobs anymore. Kenny turned into a shoplifter, or what they call a booster, and and Kim became a sex worker. Hugh came back to Kim to help her when Kenny wound up in jail. This was in 2006. And Hugh looked at Kim as a friend. He wanted to help get her life back in order. She reconciled with Hugh and told him, I have some unfinished business to attend to back in Atlantic City, and told Hugh she would meet him back with him in a week. Hugh never saw her again. Her last sighting was November 19th, the night before her body was found, at Papa John's, a late night diner. That's where her last appearance was, at Papa John's, a late night diner. According to the owner, who also knew Kim, he said she ordered her usual and ate, then went outside and got into a black Nissan Maxima. An investigator said that night Kim had been with a client in the Taj Mahal restaurant. She left the room around 5 a.m. to go buy drugs. And told the client she would return a little bit later, but she never came back. The client was a doctor who was cleared of all suspicion because the security cam footage went along with his story. Kim was found strangled by some sort of rope or cord. All right, now we're gonna draw Barbara Brader. This lady right here. As we listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Barbara Brader was believed to be the second woman killed by the killer. She grew up in the suburbs of Philly.
Early detection.
And spent her summers at the Jersey Shore. So she definitely was a Jersey gal. And she looks like a Jersey gal, you know. If you look at her, she's got the big hair. Dressed to the nines. She was charming and witty, and she was 42 years old. She was known to be excellent at the game show Jeopardy! Her life took a hard shift when her father died suddenly. She was left in a deep depression. She tried to go to Penn State for college, but she left because she was struggling to get through the first year there. She returned to the Jersey Shore. She returned to the Jersey Shore for a fresh start. She was doing well at first, and she was holding down several long-lasting waitress jobs. Barbara's mother opened a novelty shop on the boardwalk, and Barbara went to work for her and later managed that shop. But Barbara's mom decided to close the business down, so that meant Barbara had to go back to being a waitress. In 1997, she gave birth to a daughter, Dominique. Before Dominique was born, Barbara made the decision to take painkillers to help with her menstrual cramps. It's definitely got the Jersey hair going. This started an addiction to painkillers. She had that addiction to painkillers, and then her drug use escalated from her daughter's birth to right before she got murdered. She lost custody of her daughter and spiraled down a bad path.
Vanessa.
Dominique's father was abusive towards Barbara, physically and mentally. Her drug use helped her cope with the physical abuse and mental abuse that she was living with. She's got beautiful eyes. Definitely. Betty Davis eyes. As she was living in Florida, trying to escape her crazy boyfriend who was in and out of jail. she fled to a friend's house in New Jersey to try to escape him further. This was around the same time she started smoking crack and working as a sex worker to support her crack habit. Barbara was last seen leaving that friend's house and getting into a car. Now they're all getting into cars. I'm probably going to dispel the what you're thinking is maybe that's the killer. I doubt it highly. Since they were sex workers, they always have like a guy that watches their back on when they're doing work. And that was probably the guy. They pay drivers when they go to the client's house. If things go south, they have that driver there to do whatever needs to be done to get her out of the situation. But if everything goes well, they just wait outside the client's house and then they pick her up when she's done doing what she was doing in there, you know. And they probably get a certain percentage of it. They get a cut. But they need that guy or girl, whatever. I don't know. They're called the heavy. Could be a girl too. They need that person there in case things go wrong and they need to get the heck out of there quickly. They can with the driver. And the driver can get out and take care of business too if he or she needs to. So that's probably the most likely reason why they're all seen getting to black cars, that kind of car, this kind of car. Sometimes there's two of them. They're usually there to keep the client safe, or not the client, the worker, the sex worker safe. And that's how they do it. All right, well, this pretty much wraps it up. All four women were known to have afflictions with drugs. All four women were found with large amounts of drugs in their systems. And all four women were known to frequent the same hotels, restaurants, and soup kitchens in the Atlantic City area, the Egg Harbor, Atlantic City area. All four women were suspected sex workers, and all four women were running from some kind of demon, whether it be psychotic ex-lovers or debt or etc. They were all running and escaping from something. So that was the common theme in this. And we still don't know who this eastbound killer was or is. Could be still alive. We don't know. Let's get her name put down here. And then it's going to be peace out, guys. Barbara Brader. All right, so we expanded on all the women that were victims today, and we drew the last two of the first two that we drew on the last video. So that does it, guys. Like I said, if you have any information on these girls or the one who killed them, it's always good to go to these places right here. I can't do anything. You should take a screenshot of that, guys, and like and share, blah, 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 blah. You know the deal. My channel. All right. Peace out, true believers.